Greetings and salutations. Thanks for clicking on the video. Today it's our first look at Linux Mint 18 Sarah, the Mate edition. We looked at Cinnamon yesterday, and yes, I have installed it on this machine. That was the first thing I did this morning, was upgrade to Linux Mint 18 Beta. I know, I'm stupid, but you know what? Everything worked, and I got all of my applications installed, and it's running beautifully. So there. All right, so before we get into looking at the Mate edition, let me show you the new Mint Y dark theme that I have put on my desktop here. This is what it looks like. I even have the Mint Y icons. It's the only thing about it I don't think I like is the icons. They are not distinctive enough. You can't tell at a glance what you're looking at. They're just not as bold and garish as I happen to like. So I may switch this back to the standard GNOME icons at some point, because I like those because they're really gaudy. And this is what it looks like. This is a very nice dark theme. And let's go to themes here. I'll show you what's in here real quick. They pretty much shipped it with the standard theme. I guess not to shock anybody. I remember reading somewhere that they were waiting for feedback for the new theme. Well, I certainly like the dark theme. It works very well, and it doesn't seem to conflict with anything. Like browsers, you don't get that situation where you have a text box and then your text is the wrong color and you can't see what you're typing. So we have quite a few to choose from. Now, I also had installed the Cinnamon Numix theme here, which I had been using, so that's still here. So this is what you get for themes, and here is your icon set. So not a huge change there. That's fine, no problem. But I do like this dark theme. It is rather groovy. So let's talk about the Mate edition of Linux Mint. Here is the blog post. And it's pretty much, they say the same things as they did for the Cinnamon edition. You certainly can come and check this out for yourself. Also, watch yesterday's video, because some of the things I'm going to refer to in this video might not make sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at it. It is installed. I have not logged into it yet. This is just, I've installed it and opened it up to the login screen, and that's it. So, first time I've booted it up here myself. We'll put a password in. And we'll wait patiently for the lovely Mate desktop to load. Looking good so far. The background is the same as the Cinnamon edition, but the desktop certainly looks a lot different. We get the welcome screen. This is also the same deal. When I installed it, it had a screen where I could click to install all the codecs and drivers. Let's open up the control center real quick. One of the first things I want to do is make these font a little bit bigger so everybody can see it, including me. So let me see. That's under Appearance. We'll go to Fonts. Details, and we'll make this like 110 or something like that. 112 is certainly close enough. That makes it a little bit easier to see, especially you guys who are looking on low resolution devices. All right. These are the themes available. We have Mint Y Dark here as well. Let's do it. All right. Me likey. Me like me some dark themes, folks. Okay. See what we got for backgrounds. I think the machine is updating in the background or something because it's loading very slowly. Ooh, got a bunch of nice backgrounds there. Looks pretty much like the same selection we had before, so we'll leave that alone. Well, I mean that seems to be the same selection that we had for Sarah in Cinnamon. That's what I mean, not in Ubuntu Mate for 17.3. Okay, I guess we can just leave that alone. Now I can show you guys what that update screen does. And when you first open it up for the very first time, you are presented with these choices. And it chooses the intermediate level of risk versus security here. So if you click here, it's going to not upgrade anything that might potentially break the system. And if you click here, then it's going to tell you when things need to be updated that might break the system, like kernels. And then here, this is just install everything and you'll deal with it later. So I will choose the first option. And there's a bunch of stuff here that needs to be updated. So go ahead and turn it loose so it can be doing that in the background. Alright, and away we go. We can close the welcome screen. This is the new menu here, or well, it kind of got screwed by the dark theme. Maybe if I log out and log in, that will look better than it does now. Probably just needs to update. Let's see, what was I looking for? Well, I mean, if I... That's kind of disconcerting. I don't know about you, but that's kind of hard to see. Okay, what was I looking for? Oh, users and groups. Because I have to add myself to the group for the VirtualBox here. Okay, manage groups. And I need to find VBox share here. There it is right there. Okay. Properties. Add myself to that group. Okay, so that's a little bit of a different tool, but it seems to work fine. It looks a little bit different from what you get from the Cinnamon desktop. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the updates so I can log out and log in. I did not expect that group to be, well, I can't really cancel it at this point, can I? Let's see. Well, we can still look at what's in the software, I suppose. Nope, that is really messing me up. Let's fix that because you can't see it. So we'll just switch the theme back. Then it should work fine. I don't know what it was on before. We'll do that one. There we go. Okay, now we can see what's going on. Makes it a lot easier. I think we're pretty much going to end up with the same kind of software. Of course, we're going to have the new X apps in here from Mint. So if we do xed, we got that text editor. Somebody said in a comment from yesterday's video that Pix was a fork of GThumb. When I installed the new system on my machine here, I went ahead and installed GThumb too. So let's take a look at Pix. And then what I'll do here, while that's loading, so we'll jump over here like this, and I'm going to open up GThumb. Then we can look at them side by side. So here comes GThumb. This is running on the Cinnamon desktop. And the computer's working really hard right now, so it's taking quite a while to load. That's because we're updating the virtual machine in the background. So this is what the new GThumb looks like, and this is what Linux Mint is trying to get away from. It has client-side decorations up top. It seems to work relatively well here. Haven't had any issues, and it did load up all my lovely little pictures. So let's go get Pix. And we'll load that up too. Okay, so basically Pix looks like old GThumb. Except this is kind of new over here. And we can, it's got all the same tools over here. We got the view bar down at the bottom. So this is Pix. Okay. And this is GThumb. And go ahead and close that up. So there you go. Okay, back to our VM, and this is Pix running on the Mate desktop. I don't have any pictures in here, of course, so that's what it looks like, but now we got that settled. So yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything that's hugely different here. This is what Linux Mint with the Mate desktop looks like. And of course we have some new applications, and we're all updated, so this is good. And one thing I did notice, oh, it's my ride. I'll catch you next time, guys. One thing I did notice was that the update process is actually a lot smoother here on Linux Mint 18 than I'm used to in the 17 series. A lot of times when you install, first install in the 17 series, you kind of have to poke at the update manager to get it to work. Sometimes it locks up, it does goofy stuff. It didn't ask me about mirrors here. Okay, now I can upgrade my kernel. This is what I was talking about. Now it asks you, so you check it. Then you install the updates. And it asks for your password. So this is nice. This is good intermediate security here for the, people who are not necessarily all that computer savvy. They may want to avoid that if they don't know what the deal is. So at least they give you the options. And I kind of like to know when updates that are coming in that might break the system are there anyway. I'm very much like that as well. It's like, hold on. It's like Ubuntu will just upgrade the kernel and everything without whatever. It asks for a password, and that's your indication that they're going to do a kernel upgrade. But Linux Mint has kind of broken that down, so that's pretty cool. So there it is, gang. I don't know what else to show you. Pretty much, it looks solid. Might hang around here long enough to put that dark theme back and then log out and log in. There is one thing I wanted to see if I could change. don't particularly like the default Mint theme for the login screen. So I want to see if I can change that real quick. One I like is this one. It's called Carbon. Also, I kind of like the one that's just plain GTK because you just get a box. And on this machine, the host machine here, I have to use this one because one goofy thing that did happen is that the login screen doesn't render properly. It's not anything wrong with Linux Mint. It's because I'm using this really funky dual monitor setup to work this stuff. And so I have the laptop monitor is actually shut off. And when it came up, it's kind of stretched. So I just switched to this one, which just gives you a little login box, which is really cool. But if I don't have that issue, I really like the Carbon. So we'll take a look at that as soon as this thing's done doing its kernel upgrade. Let's see if I can get in here. I added myself to the group. It might not. No, it hadn't caught up yet. Got to log in and log out for that too. All right, we'll do. Hurry up. Somebody said yesterday that I appeared to be disappointed with Linux Mint. Can't remember whether I mentioned this earlier in the video, the upgrade. I'm not disappointed at all. I think that they have done an excellent job here. And while I did not wait to do the in-place upgrade from 17.3 to 18, if they can pull that off, that is going to be awesome. So what I did do was, on this machine, I did it manually. I did a manual in-place upgrade. And I did a video not too long ago showing you guys how to do that. And then on the other machine, what I intend to do is leave 17.3 running until the upgrade is available. And then I will attempt to do the in-place upgrade there and see how that works. So what I essentially did is reinstalled the operating system but left all of my settings and home folder intact like I showed you in the video. And it worked fine. It took me about, I'd say, 25 minutes to do the entire switch over and get all the old software installed. Get everything in there that I needed. Okay, it's about done. So let's go ahead and change the theme so we can log out and log in. Let's see, where am I? I guess I need appearance. Alright, so now let's change this theme and see if that dark theme is going to work. Yep. Okay. Okay. Oh, one thing I do need to do very quickly is show you guys this. If you haven't seen this before, I wanted to show that in this video. So if we go to Software Sources, you notice that it's talking about selecting the mirrors. Let's do that real quick so you guys see how that works. I already know the one that I want. It's James Madison University in Harrisonburg, Virginia. That's very close. Used to live in that town. I think it's kind of neat that I'm using James Madison's mirrors. And then over here, the fastest one that I'm getting is like the University of Vermont or something like that. So this allows you to go through and check out, get the closest, fastest mirror. This is a very good tool that's been in Linux Mint since the 17 series. Yep. Community College in Vermont, or CC Vermont. I'm not sure exactly what institution that is. So that's done. Update the cache. And now we can log out and log in. Let's log out here. That's funny. As it's logging out, it lost all of its theming and decorations. Should dump me at the login screen here. Yep. Now let's see what that looks like. Looks like the VirtualBox drivers are working properly here. I didn't have that issue that I had before. It's, of course, I don't know whether Mate tells you that it's running in software rendering mode or not, but it certainly is zippy enough, and we got, seems like the graphics are doing it. That just doesn't work. Oh, that would not work for me. No, couldn't use that on a daily basis. Oh well, we tried, right? It's the only thing about a dark theme on the Mate desktop. Sometimes it'll really burn you. Ubuntu Mate has a nice dark theme though. So I guess we're just going to have to choose something else. I always like kind of like Mintex Gray. Yep, that'll work. Alright, let me see if I can get into my shared folder. Maybe I need to restart the system completely for that because it is mounted at startup. Let's double check that I put myself in the group. I don't particularly like this tool. I like the way they do it in the Cinnamon desktop. Let's go to Manage Groups. Okay, go to Group Properties. No, I'm not in the group. All right. Try that one more time. All right, this time I'm just going to, well, I'm just going to restart it. We'll just start from scratch. Hope you don't mind hanging out with me while I do this. Just curious to see how far I can get with this. So far, so good. Everything seems to work. Just sort of the kind of like the normal stuff you have to do when you install. Kind of a bummer about that dark theme, though. I suppose you could go in and fix that. All right. All right, now we should be able to get in here. Yep, so we can get in here. And then I can open with Archive Manager. I'm going to extract these to the home folder. Right there. Do it. Awesome. Looks good. Got everything we need in there. So this is very promising. One more thing to look at here. Let's look at our drivers. I should have one driver to install. As you know, it's really hard for me to believe as I'm going through this that this is a beta. Because this works beautifully. This does not feel like a beta. It doesn't act like a beta. I haven't run into any major issues with this. Everything works perfectly. I've now installed it on hardware. I've installed it twice in a virtual machine. The Linux Mint team has really done an outstanding bang-up job on this. Absolutely. They have done a wonderful job. Okay, the VirtualBox drivers are installed. So let's just add this one. We'll apply the changes. Apply the changes here for the GNOME Disks utility. Somebody pointed out that when I was doing my tutorial yesterday about VirtualBox that I didn't explain to you guys that you should check the box that says use host cache IO on the SATA controller. Yes, do that. It makes it go a lot faster. And then you can come in here like this, and then you can set this. And this makes a virtual machine run very, very fast. Between having those the kernel drivers for the microcode for the processor that we just installed and using that IO cache, it makes a virtual machine go almost as fast as the host. Alright gang, so I guess that's going to do it. Thank you for watching the video. Really cool. It is very impressive what they have done. I know that some people have complained that we had to wait a while for this to come out, but considering the fact that Ubuntu had so many issues with the 16.04 release, it's probably a good idea for the Linux Mint team to take it slow on this one and make sure they get everything worked out before they call it done. And I mean, I was a little bit frustrated with Ubuntu because Ubuntu, I feel like they jumped the gun on the 16.04 release. They made a lot of last-minute changes that kind of hurt them and ran into some bugs like the network manager bug. And some of it wasn't their fault. It's stuff that's going on with outside third-party development for like drivers and things like that. We know that, but I kind of think Ubuntu should have waited and made it Ubuntu 16.06. Honestly, just wait a couple of months, get everything straight, hold off on the official release, see if they could work through some of these challenges before letting it go. So, alright, I love it. I love it. We've got Ubuntu, or rather, I almost said Ubuntu Mate. No, we've got Linux Mint Mate Edition 18, Sarah, running beautifully. Looks good. So thank you for watching this video, gang. We will talk again soon. Be sure and check out freedompenguin.com. Check out easylinux.com. And check out Easy Linux on Facebook. Give that a like if you would, please. We'll do it again soon.